Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Decision Hour. I'm Adam, and with me today, we're excited. Who do I have? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody? Patti, are you there?
No, this is Elvis. Hey, everybody. Hi, Adam.
I don't know how we're going to get through this show. I'm so happy to have you back. It's been a while. It's been a couple months. Like 3 months, maybe? No. Well, it's got to be pretty close. I think beginning of February at least. Something like that.
I think you're right.
It's been a while. It has been a while. Because last time I was traveling before the zombie apocalypse happened. And we're kind of in nearing the ending phases of that. But nonetheless, how are you?
I'm doing good. I am negative for COVID-19.
Well, congratulations. I'm so happy. So happy to hear that. I too am negative for COVID-19. Whew. Folks, you guys are in for a real treat. Yeah, I know you guys have missed our banter together. Are we doing the show for them? We're probably just doing it for us because we haven't seen each other. We haven't seen each other for several weeks either. So
since Orlando.
Yeah, and that was, I don't even remember when that was. March? Was that in March?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in March.
Yeah, we went to PodFest. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
You were on a panel.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I always love seeing you, and you brought Ken down, and it was I love hanging out with you guys. We usually have a good time anyway. Yeah,
we do. It's always fun. So,
but you say Orlando. That was like, it's kind of right around the time when this whole COVID stuff kind of kicked off.
Yeah, and we were kind of in the epicenter because Orlando was just starting to get hot with the COVID-19.
Yeah.
As hot as it was going to get, because here in Florida, we haven't really had a huge problem. It's been unfortunate. We've lost some people because of COVID-19 and some have been very sick, but it didn't get as bad as it was predicted.
So what are we going to talk about today?
So we're just going to catch everybody up. Adam, what have you been doing? Because obviously the Decision Hour has been going on, and my show's been going on, but we haven't been able to get in touch with each other. So you had some guests on the show. You had, tell us who you've had so far.
I've had several guests on the show. Dr. Bob Adams was on the show. He'd written a book called Swords and Saints. He was a Navy SEAL turned Army doctor. Not something that you hear of almost ever, really. I've had newer apparel company on. I've had Wayne from On the Blue Line podcast has come on. We met him down in Orlando there. God, you put me on the spot. I'm trying to think of everybody.
I know you've been busy, and you've been on podcasts yourself as a guest. I've
been on several panels since Florida as well. So I've been on. I just did one this morning as well. So I've been busy. It's been since PodFest. It's been busy. I pre-recorded a bunch of shows that we've put out, and then sat on some panels, and then quite frankly just doing HMG stuff. We had since March 5 new shows, and come on.
Yeah. So what else have you been up to because of the COVID-19? Because I know it's been a little bit.
So I think you remember.
For everybody, it's been scary.
Like I left Florida. I left you guys and went right to Arizona. And I was in Arizona for about a month. And during that time, I was supposed to stay there till the end of May. Because my son usually runs track and everything like that. They canceled all those outings and whatnot. And got him started in homeschooling. And I have a hard time getting stuff done and working stuff at my parents' house down in Arizona. And I got a place down there now where I can go and work. But at the time, I didn't. So everybody was just kind of like, why don't you go back to East Coast, and because the wife works 3 days a week as a nurse. And we usually have a dog sitter come in. So to save money, it was good for me to come home because it gets expensive to have come in to watch 2 dogs. And I get more done here. It's nice to be home. I can be with the dogs and not have to worry about the wife with this whole COVID thing. And we thought that she was going to get called in a lot more because she works at a Trauma 1 hospital. They've been trying to call her off because there's really not that much stuff going on. So I flew back here and I've been back here. And this is actually, believe it or not, this is the longest I've been in one spot in the last 4 years. Because I'm usually traveling as well, you know?
It's kind of funny because your wife sells these nail strips. And I jokingly asked people on my Facebook yesterday, who's buying black market services? And that included nails, massage, hair. And I thought, geez, you know, she sells these nail colors. You don't have to go to the
killing it right now too. She's like, listen, you're at home. You can't get the nails done. Do them yourself.
Ugh. Yeah, mine did not turn out so pretty. I tried to paint my own nails and it looked like not good. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And those are like the whole massage thing. I miss the massage stuff too. And you would think like, oh, you're married, you got a spouse. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, they don't know how to do it the right way. And they don't even want to learn sometimes. The stress. I know yesterday I found a massage therapist and he's like, I'll come to your house. And I was like, oh gosh, I just don't want someone I don't know very well. I do know who he is. You know, he has got a good reputation, but it's just weird. It is. Right? I found a massage therapist that I like and it's hard for me to find somebody I like. And then, you know, so I'm just going to suck it up and wait. But
hopefully this whole stuff will be over here pretty soon. I think this has been quite a learning experience. Let me ask you this, and for listeners that are listening, how have you taken this whole thing being at home? I mean, has it been a positive experience for you overall, or has it really kind of put a damper on things next to like not being able to get a massage and stuff like that?
Well, I was really trying to be active at fundraising for a nonprofit that I volunteer for. Mm-hmm. And that put a damper on things because we had to cancel 2 of our events that were going to be kind of big.
Oh, yeah.
And so that kind of stunk. But then, so the first week I was like, okay, this kind of sucks because I really want to be out there fundraising. I want to be doing things. The second week I was like, oh, this is great. I'm a pro. No big deal. Third week, I'm great. About a month into it, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I feel so unhealthy compared to how I felt even a month ago. I feel like I've been just not able to go very many places. Right. I've been walking pretty often, but still, you'd think I'd be like a beanpole. But if you only walk even an hour of the day and you're sitting on your butt almost all day, I don't know. Yeah. I'm ready for things just to be open. Yeah. In my opinion, if I died today, I'd be cool with it. I'd be fine with it. I don't want to leave my kids that way, but that's kind of way I look at it is like if something happened and I did catch COVID-19 and I ended up dying, like that part wouldn't bother me. Now I'm starting to go a little stir crazy. Right. So I take my risks.
No, I got you. Do you guys have to wear you guys don't have to wear masks. You and I have had this conversation offline, but you don't have to wear masks down in Florida, do you?
No. Our governor has been pretty relaxed. In fact, he was so relaxed. A lot of people were really upset with him at first, but I think people are seeing that his decisions have worked for the state of Florida. So no, I have a mask in case I feel like I should use it, but I went to the Devil's store yesterday, Walmart, and it was someplace I thought if I was going to have to wear a mask, it'd be there, but I didn't.
and to be clear, folks, Walmart is not a sponsor of the show, so we can say that. It's weird. Like, you remember back in the day, Michael Jackson used to wear that mask and everybody used to, and now all of a sudden it's like the new thing, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny
too soon?
On Snapchat, they've been doing that for years.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This whole thing is it got me going down the rabbit hole. So for me personally, I've tried to walk, but the weather's been kind of crappy up here in the Northeast. We have to wear them. I got kicked out of a store a couple of weeks ago when I walked in and didn't have a mask on, and I was not the nicest person leaving. That's how I allowed it to get upset. I'm not proud. I'm peeling back a layer here, folks, and I'm being transparent. I'm not proud of the language that I used at the time, but I had some choice words, and I stormed out of the store. And I was like, F it, whatever. I went to the next store, and then in another store, and it's like now all of a sudden you have to wear masks everywhere. So I have one of those face masks. I put it on my IG where it's like a skull and like the fangs are sticking out. And I was like, F it, I'm gonna wear that. And I walked in, and the store that I ended up walking into, the lady's eyes got all big. She's like, hello, how are you? Man, I'm great, thanks. I'm just like, this is, I get it. We have no control over it, or do we?
It's crazy. Well, we've missed a lot in the media too. Thankfully, I don't really watch a lot of news, but some things that we missed, the United States admitted to UFOs.
I was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for you to say that. But how in depth did they go to there's UFOs? Well, everybody knows there's UFOs. It's just unidentified flying object. Like it could be a plane. You just can't understand what it is, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't get into seeing what their definition of a UFO was.
I looked at the video. Did you?
No.
It was ridiculous. It looked like those old 60s.
Probably something
videos.
Dumb, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was just like a little shimmer of light that did a little spinny thing.
I think I've gotten to go down the rabbit hole during this quarantine, if you will, and I find out I researched more about Operation Mockingbird back in the after post World War II, where the CIA went into the media and Hollywood did psychological warfare and stuff like that. And a lot of that makes sense now reading that, because you kind of see it. And then, but because I started doing that, now when I watch a movie or listen to stuff, I look at it completely differently. Like, oh, this is what they're really saying. Because what's the easiest way to hide something? Is right out in the open, right? So I look at it like, what's really going on right now? What is it that they're trying to hide from us right now? You've sent me articles from mainstream media sources that I won't bring up because I can't stand any of those organizations. But you read some of the articles and it's very alarming. Meat shortages or the COVID-19. Now all of a sudden I heard the other night that are the deaths really, is this virus as really bad as what we've making out to? And it turns out that it's not. They've already admitted to cooking the books. I'm going on a tangent here. I'm going to shut up, but it's like,
well,
because where I'll take this. So,
on this Friday, they say that Amazon, Walmart, FedEx workers are all supposed to be walking out on the job. So that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we have people who want to work, who can't work. And then we have people like that they want hazard pay.
It's ridiculous. Well, let me ask you this. You own a small business, or you're starting your a small business line, right? Mm-hmm. And if you got workers and stuff like that, if you're a small business owner, why can Amazon, Walmart, grocery stores, well, take out the grocery store, well, why can like Target and Walmart and stores like that and Amazon, why can they stay open but small businesses can't?
Yeah, see, I think in Florida it's a lot different because our small businesses, they can, but it depends. They have to be essential. So like Walmart sells groceries, so that's their essential.
Right.
Home Depot,
but then they limit. You told me that they limit some of the stuff. Like, weren't we talking about like the milk and stuff? Talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have a dairy farmer that's not far from here, and they're dumping over 7,000 gallons of milk a day because there's too much milk and not enough demand is what they were first told. But then you go into the grocery store and they're limiting your milk consumption or your milk purchases to 1 gallon. Sometimes you get lucky and you can get 2 gallons at a time. But that to me is weird. Like that's probably the biggest weird thing. A lot of our small businesses are operating from home now. If they are able to, not physical services, but like t-shirt companies and things like that. I think they can operate from home.
Right.
But there's just weird things like the milk. I don't get it. I don't understand why we have farmers dumping thousands of gallons of milk and it's right down the road. And our grocery stores are sitting here with no milk on the shelves.
What about, how about just sending that to like the homeless shelters or something like that?
Yeah. So they actually went on the news and they said that people who could donate the cost of the plastic containers to put the milk in, they would be willing to give it away. They just can't, they can't afford to dump all that 7,000
gallons.
Gallons of milk. And give away their containers and stuff. But if somebody came in and gave them the containers, they would gladly fill them up and donate them.
It just blows my mind that we've come like this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, well, open up, don't open up. And I think when people forget and that nobody's been talking about it's an election year. Mm-hmm. Call me crazy. You can call it a coincidence, whatever. There's a lot of reasons why things are going on the way they're going on right now. And it doesn't matter if you're left or right. I won't get political about it, but it's you can't help but to see what's really going on. And I think what's really going on is that the mainstream media has gotten to a point where they don't necessarily state facts. They give you what they want you to believe. And we're a lazy society. People watch the news. Oh, I saw it on MSNBC and CBS and ABC, and they're all saying the same thing and CNN. So they're all saying the same thing, so it must be true. Well, they're saying the same thing because they're owned by the same people.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we're going to have to open America. The thing that I don't understand too is in the state of Florida, we started shutting down when we have barely had any COVID-19 deaths. And now we're at over 1,000 and they're already starting to open up. So obviously. And here, let's talk about those numbers real quick. Because the numbers, the government's come out and it said, well, if you had a respiratory issue and you died of a heart attack and you were being tested for COVID-19, they put down COVID-19 as a cause of death. See, I've read that too. I've read that even car accidents are being counted as COVID-19 deaths, but I want to see that. I do want to see that proof because I don't really believe that either because the media is also reporting that. So it's like, I don't believe anything the media is saying right now.
I know up here in Pennsylvania, they had to go back and change 200 death certificates. 200 death certificates and take COVID-19 off the death certificates because they had nothing to do. They weren't even tested for COVID-19. And they put COVID-19 on there. So that to me, that tells me that somebody is there. There's a reason why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other thing is kind of crazy is it's really hit or miss who's getting the significant, horrible symptoms of COVID-19 also, because our friend's son right now is in a hospital in Michigan. He was a police detective for the police department I was a reservist on. And he's been on a ventilator now, probably about a month, and not been conscious or anything. And he was completely healthy that we all know of and young, in his 20s and very fit to be on the police department. And then for so long we were told all these symptoms, the symptoms keep changing.
Yeah. They don't know. They just don't know.
They don't know anything.
And that's the thing that bothers me. It's like they don't know. They're trying to, somebody's got an agenda out there. Cause here, if you do watch the news, what are the only two states that you see? New York and California. I'm not saying anything. They just happen to be very left-wing states. Call it a coincidence or whatnot. But look here's something that I saw that somebody reported the other day was New York City has had 11,000 COVID deaths. Tokyo, the world's largest and Dentist City has had 93. New York City has been on lockdown. Tokyo has never been on lockdown. In fact, both have had the virus for the same amount of time. Why is New York City's death rate 250 times higher than Tokyo's? Now, I have a friend.
Warfare.
I have a friend of mine that lives in Tokyo. He's an American. He lives in Tokyo. He works in Tokyo, and he's laughing at us. He's like, "I'm glad we are over here because it's normal here. It's nothing's ever changed for us, really. You've had some stuff here and there, but nothing's really changed."
I was thinking too, I wonder if it has to do with the climate. California's actually, their numbers are not that bad compared to what they thought that they were going to be. And my daughter lives there, my oldest daughter, and a lot of things are still open, but you only see what's on the news that says that everything is closed, but it's really not all closed. She's still working.
Does she physically go to her place of employment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're only allowed to have up to 2 people in the office at a time, I guess. But yeah, she goes there and works, and there's only 2 of them usually in there anyways. They're not allowing clients just to walk in though. She works at a condo association, and so when they have people who need anything, they just have to deal over the computer and the phone, which is fine right now. But she still goes to the grocery store. They get takeout all the time for food, and some of their clothing stores are open. They just have rules of how many people can go in at once. And she's like, "Mom, the media is just blowing it up." But I wonder if the climate has anything to do with this also, because New York is a cold state. Michigan's a cold state. Those numbers are really high. They're all enclosed. They don't get outside. They have their furnaces on until recently. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That very well could be. I don't know. Will we ever know? Hard to say.
Maybe 50 years from now.
Yeah, when everything else gets unclassified. And here's what really happened back in 2020.
Yeah. So. Well, the U.S. government injected Guatemalans with STDs, telling them that they were immunization years ago, and it finally came out.
Yeah.
Many years later. So we'll see.
I don't know. Maybe we do more shows on just how corrupt the decision hour. When did the United States government decide to become corrupt? Maybe we can pinpoint that.
How did we as citizens continue to allow it? So you can vent on Facebook. There, you can do these virtual protests.
You can't even do that. That doctor came out and said about the ventilator. He did an hour-long YouTube video. An actual doctor came out and said, you don't really need ventilators. You could do he basically gave I don't want to say a cure, but my understanding is something similar. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Nope, this is misinformation because it's not pushing their narrative. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Because my opinion on it is very cut and dry. We're getting censored. People are getting censored if it doesn't meet the social media sites or the mainstream media's narrative. We get kicked off and we get censored for it.
My input is that we can talk until we're blue in our faces, but it's a waste of time. So if you're not going to do anything, shut up.
So how do you do something about it then? If somebody, like, we see all this and like that video, do we just keep sharing the video and try to keep getting it out there? Because mainstream
even if people watch the video, they're not doing anything. They really don't care. Like, I have a friend, she's like, "Oh, who cares? We need to go do this and we need to do that." But at the end of the day, just sitting there venting is not going to do anything. So we need like organizers who are actually going to put together a good plan.
Like a rally. I don't want to say rally because
not a rally. Because the protests, they don't work. They lock down their city. They do their protesting, their peaceful protests, which are good. I am all about peacefulness. I don't want to go and tear things up.
We don't need a civil war. We don't need
nothing like that.
Right.
But something's got to change, and some leaders are going to have to step up and have integrity. And
do you think there needs to be a whole revamp of the government?
Oh, heck yeah. We got Miss Drunk in her office. I won't tell everybody's name, but you know who I'm talking about. She can't even barely talk. She's slurring her words all the time. Like, who lets her go up on stage?
I'm putting that on Twitter later and hashtag Miss Drunk with a picture. I totally do.
And it's true too. I've been to an event where she was toasted.
Just hammered.
And people love her because they think that she's doing anything that they want her to do. But really, she's just a puppet.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So what do you hope to get out of this whole thing once it's all said and done? I probably know the answer to this, but for the listeners, I'm going to ask this. Patti, what's the first thing you're going to do when they lift everything and life kind of goes back to the norm, the new norm, but you're able to go out and not have to wear a mask? So what's the first thing that you're going to do?
Probably get my nails done, maybe. I don't know, though, because, I'm also going to be smart about it, too, because I just kind of watch. Did you ever see that meme that says, like, you just kind of watch the first wave of people and see what happens to them? That's me. Are they okay?
They're going in. 5 went in. Oh, only 3 came out. Nope, we'll wait another week. Oh, goodness. What else, Patti? What else are we going to talk about today?
No, actually, I'll go to the beach. I wouldn't do that. But I'm going to do that anyways, probably tomorrow.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. But what was that last question?
What else are we going to talk about today?
So we've covered so far current events. We've covered conspiracy theories to a point. I think updating people on what we've been doing.
Oh, yeah. So let me jump in there real quick. So Patti's going to be coming on and off. We be on and off because you have your own show called...
It's Wake Up with Patti Catter.
And
Adam helped come up with that name.
Thank you very much. It's a great name, isn't it? It just kind of rolls off the tongue. And where can people find it and what is it about?
If you go to patticatter.com, and we talk about uplifting, inspirational stories, self-care topics, health and wellness right now. But I just wanted to give people that I've worked with in the past a good avenue to connect with each other, because I noticed that, birds of a feather flock together kind of a thing. We have a good community online on Facebook. We have a group, and I love the listeners. They're just so encouraging, and it's like I'm not just pouring into them. Many of them will check on me, which is super cool. So thank you for that.
You're very, the show is very inspirational. It's very upbeat and positive. I think you put a very good positive twist on just a positive outlook on things. And you're kind of a social butterfly. Anyway, you're always there. You're one of the first people I know that'll help people. Like you're one of the first people I go to if I'm having an issue, because you usually answer or kind of, you're one of the only people that can get away with kind of setting me straight and calling me out on stuff too. So,
well, I like it when people do that to me too.
Yeah.
So I'll be like a person's best friend, but if they ask my opinion, I'll make sure I try to say it as nicely as I can. But I need to hear truths,
right? And
I need to hear. We're only here for limited time, so I want to
enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it. And my show is pretty fun lately. My posts have been pretty fun. I am taking a spin to insert a lot more humor into my show. So
more humor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I did decide during COVID-19 is to add some humor, because some of the stuff that we're going through is just so crazy. I just gotta make jokes.
Any chance that Patti's going to go on a comedy tour?
Never say never.
Nice. Oh, that'd be awesome. Sweet. Well, and folks, again, Patti, first off, I'm glad that you're back. Because it's been a long time. This was definitely something I needed. I was telling the wife, I was like, me and Patti got to do a show here really soon, because it's, you and I always have a blast, and it's just weird because I felt like we needed to come on. We kind of touched a little bit on a lot of stuff today, and I got a feeling that depending on what's going to happen over the next couple of days, we'll probably touch more on this stuff in future shows. What's the decision hour moment for this episode, would you say?
Well, one of the things for me personally is to try to not take things so seriously. That's been very difficult for me. I've been so serious for so long. And I mean, I actually told my husband the other day, I was like, I just keep getting hits. Like, no matter what it is in life that you do. Like yesterday I went to save a video on my computer and I couldn't get it to save. And I'm like, are you serious? It's just like one thing after the next. And I'm like, I'm going to give myself a heart attack if I keep focusing on all these hard times. Like this COVID-19, the atmosphere has been so heavy. I told Adam yesterday, I put off launching another part of my business because of COVID-19. And last week I decided to not allow that and to go ahead and push through that. So I think just not take things so seriously. None of us get out alive anyway, right?
That's it. You know what? I think we're going to end today's show with that. And that's some great advice. Don't take things so serious. You make the decision to not take things so seriously. Enjoy life, because like you said, we're only here for a certain amount of time, and it could be our moment any moment, right?
Yeah. And I think, we're our own worst critics. You did a show, Adam, you did a show about that somewhere. I remember seeing that, being your own worst critic and having what was that? You called it imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Oh yeah. On the entrepreneur life, I was interviewed with Clint McPherson and Andrew, I think his name is, forgive me. And having that imposter syndrome, and you and I had talked about it before we went to Florida. I had suffered from that badly. Don't. You got something to say, people listen. I look at myself, I think we both look at ourselves as very humble people. So we don't really toot our own horns or anything like that. But at the same time, and then I'll go as far as to say neither one of us really give ourselves the credit that not necessarily we deserve, but the credit that's due. We do a lot for the community. And we've been around for quite a while in this community. But at the same time, we're here to help as many people as we can and whatnot. So anyway,
yep.
Yeah, make that decision. It's a good decision there, Patti. We're up on time. We're over time, but that's all right because it's our show. We can do whatever we want. So it's great having you back. I know there's going to be more shows coming up here soon. Folks, we tell you what shows we're going to do, but we just want you to keep coming back and find it out. So make sure you check us out on Facebook at The Decision Hour. We got a community, The Decision Hour Facebook community. If you're interested, if you're not a part of that group, go on in. There's a whole bunch of shenanigans that goes on there. And I think here's a question for everybody that I want to leave everybody with to think about, and respond to us on our Facebook. Send us a message. Is where would you like to see Adam and Patti go in 2020 once the zombie apocalypse is over with and we can start moving about the country and roam freely without...
Say Area 51.
Patti wants to go to Area 51. Adam just wants to get on a plane and go somewhere cool. So
spaceship.
Let's not that kind of a plane. So yeah. So when you're listening to this, send us a message on Facebook and let us know where you would like to see Adam and Patti pop up next. It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Where's Adam and Patti? Where are we gonna go? I don't know. So appreciate y'all listening as always. Patti, again, thank you. It's great having you back. Before we let you go, I got to give a shout out to Heroes Media Group. Check out all the great shows there. You can also find Wake Up with Patti Catter there on Heroes Media Group. Go to www.heroesmediagroup.com. Until next time, you've been listening to The Decision Hour.